Hello. How's everybody doing? I see we're getting a few people already there in the chat. It's game week 21. It's game week 21. How's everybody feeling? I mean, personally, after two horrible, I'm going to say horrible weeks, game week 20, game week, the double game week 19 have not gone particularly well for myself. I hope they've gone well for you. But yeah, we're heading on into every single time. But yeah, we're heading on into game week 21. Half an hour away from the deadline. Plenty of discussion, plenty of captaincy kind of options and choices this week. I myself, let me actually bring my team up here. If you hold on 1 second. Let's get this team on the go. So here's my team for the coming game week. We've taken a -4. Now my transfers this week, we're basically deciding between whether I want to go with Rashford to Gundogan and Dallas to Cancelo from -4, or Vardy to Calvert-Lewin and Dallas to Cancelo from -4. And I went with the Calvert-Lewin move. It just makes more sense to me, to be honest. And yeah, I really like DCL for the next kind of 3-4 weeks. Very good fixtures. And I think now that Everton have got all their kind of attacking assets back, we saw the run that DCL went on previously earlier on in the season. He was a kind of must-have option before. So I think that DCL looks really good. I've currently got the armband on Salah, but it could go on any one of kind of Son, Salah, Calvert-Lewin, Cancelo, even Bruno Fernandes is in there with a shout, even Grealish in there with a shout. Most players are this week. So let me know down below if you what you think, who you're thinking about captaining for this coming game week. We've got the main man at the back, Kenny Tete, picking up a clean sheet against Brighton last week, a nice 0-0. I've seen plenty of people, some people kind of predict that maybe we'll see a benching from him as Robinson is back, but Robinson plays on the left side, so I can't see particularly why Tete would get benched. Adam saying hello, mate. How you doing, mate? Hope everything is going well with all your guys' teams coming in to game week 21. Of course, Mitchell or Bamford. That's the big decision for me. I've had a lot of Leeds fans discuss kind of, Bamford most likely will still be getting in that Bielsa team. Bielsa trusts him and thinks he is a solid player. But yeah, that's my main kind of bench decision this week is Bamford or Mitchell. We just have had someone join us. Elle, can you hear me? Yeah, I kind of haven't actually got you hearable or listenable yet, so I shall turn you on, as it were. We are joined today by Mr. Elle Taylor. Hello, Elle, how are we doing?
I'm doing good, thanks. Good to be here.
How are we feeling about game week 21? Let me bring the team up. And
I still can't decide my captain, to be honest.
Talk us through it. You've got the captaincy there on DCL. Let us know down in the comments who you're thinking of captaining, because it is a really tough one. I've got my captaincy on Salah. Changed it last night to Salah because I was thinking... I've seen... Owen was just out of nowhere trying to convincing me to go DCL, and it was very persuasive, and like what he was saying was very true. He was basically saying, if you think DCL is going to do well, why don't you captain him? And
yeah,
after that thinking, I was kind of thinking, oh my God, what do I do? But I guess my thinking is I'd be more annoyed if DCL blanked and I didn't captain Salah than I would be if kind of Salah goes and blanks and I don't captain DCL. But also, I'd kind of like you not to captain DCL because I still want him to do well.
Yeah.
Like really well. So, yeah, we do already have a few comments coming in. So we'll discuss the captaincy in a second. Mohammed coming in with hi, I want Rashford. And my midfield is Bruno, Ilkay, Souček, Grealish, Maddison. Who should I get rid of? I mean, geez, that's a pretty cracked midfield, if I do say so myself. Thing is, there's so many midfielder kind of options generally this year that you're always going to want one extra player. The only one that's glaring to me is Souček, but then again, Souček's been playing really well, so I wouldn't be particularly rushing any of those midfielders out, especially not for this week. Rashford's got a couple of good fixtures in the coming game weeks, and I think it's a wait. I know we'll give you a section on United in a minute, in a quick minute. but they have just lost to Sheffield, so I'd hold off on getting another United asset in there. But yeah, I really like Grealish going into the game. It's kind of why I decided not to transfer him out, because I'd rather start Rashford than I would Bamford, which I think is fair. Thoughts on J Rod and Callum Hudson-Odoi? Oh, I like J Rod. What do you think about J Rod? Big man J Rod.
Yeah, Everton are starting to look good again, aren't they? I mean, they never looked bad, but I mean, sort of that form they had at the sort of start of the season. So maybe not yet. Sort of just watch and wait, and then Hudson-Odoi. I think avoid Chelsea for now. With Tuchel's so hard to predict what team he's going to go with at the moment.
Yeah.
The only real guaranteed one is Chilwell or Mendy.
Even
guess.
Chilwell, there's potential. You know what I mean? There's potential he could rotate, bring Alonso back. So,
I mean, the fact he dropped James first game in.
I don't know. Yeah, just hold off on Chelsea for now. I think Hudson-Odoi is a good player, but he's never been particularly good for FPL. Rodriguez is one of them. They've got good fixtures. If you fancy a bit more, all I'd say with J Rod is there are other options in the midfield who do look better for that kind of price bracket. But even so, if you want to punt, go for J Rod. What do you think of Salah to Sterling, and then we'll captain Sterling? Yeah, I don't mind that kind of move. I think it generally is only beneficial if you're planning on captaining him. So if you're planning on captaining him, then I think it's a fair move. As long, I don't like the minus because Salah is a player that can punish you. I've seen some people -4 out Salah, some people -4 him in. He's got good stats against West Ham, so it's really kind of a 50-50 move at the minute. For me personally, I'm sticking a hold of Salah. I think that although he's had poor form, he's going to bounce back at some point, and you're going to want to have him for that. What are your thoughts on Salah?
He was sort of one I might captain still. I think he's been off lately, hasn't he? But he scored a disallowed goal the other game. Sorry. And Liverpool, the way they played that second half against Spurs, they were so dominant.
They look solid, didn't they?
Yeah. So they're still, even though they're missing centre backs and stuff, they can still put in very good performances. So Salah's definitely a good captain option. But with Sterling, against Sheffield, I mean, United demonstrated last game week how not to play against Sheffield.
Yeah. But then again, City in the last 2 or 3 times, even this season, I've only beaten them 1-0. So I'm very much hoping for a 1-0. That would work very nicely for me. But that being said, it is City. They have the potential and shown over the last few weeks that they're looking very, very good.
Is Egan still out, or is that just a one game?
No, Egan's back, so they should be a bit more solid at the back. And the way they'll set up, you can see them just going sort of the 5 across the back, and just really kind of digging deep at the back there. Play Aaron Wan-Bissaka or Souček, mate, and who's the captain? Sterling, Son, or Barnes. So Aaron Wan-Bissaka versus Arsenal, or Souček versus Liverpool. I tend to personally go for the attacking player, but obviously Souček isn't kind of an out-and-out attacker, as it were. But yeah, I lean towards attacking players, and Souček's been really, really good of late. So I don't see a particular reason not to play him. That being said, though, Wan-Bissaka could get a clean sheet, but then again, Arsenal have looked very good. So it's one of them where it's a bit of a toss-up. I'd say that's almost a 50-50 between those two, because both of them have a lot of upside. But I personally would lean towards it. And the attacker, he says, Captain Sterling, Son, or Barnes. Honestly, mate, the captaincy this week is just, all I'd say is go. All I'd say is go with your gut. Go with who you genuinely think is gonna do well. For me, at the minute, that's on Salah. I think for you, Al, it maybe leaning towards DCL.
DCL, Salah or Cancelo.
But yeah, honestly, like the picks you picked there, if I was gonna kind of remove one, I'd probably remove Barnes because he's very hit and miss. But then he also has the potential to haul, and obviously if he hauls this week, you want the captaincy on him. But yeah, just go with your gut feeling, and then at least if it doesn't go well, then you'll feel a lot better about it. Green Arrow every week, no worries, fella. Is Son a must? In my opinion, yes. I think Son's a class act, incredible player. Yeah, I just think Son is a complete class act. And with Kane out, his stats actually look quite good. I don't know if you've seen that, El, but I was kind of predicting that Son's stats without Kane weren't going to be too great, but they're actually pretty good, even potentially better without him. Guy said, Aaron, my man Az, says holding to Digne from -4. I reckon potentially holding to someone like, let me think. Holding to Furlong for a -8. That sound good to you? I'm just joking with you. That is someone I know in the real life. So anyone don't take that seriously. Holding to D -4, play -4.
Yeah,
You do that. I'd personally hold. I'd personally like play Mitchell, but I don't want you getting points for Palace as. So yeah, do take the -4, please. Thank you. Dallas to Digne or Chilwell for -4. That's a -4. I prefer a little bit more because I think Dallas is going to be stinking this week. That being said, Dylan, what I'd ask is, do you have any other players who can play, like an attacker who can come in? Because I don't particularly like -4s for defensive transfers where, they could easily go and lose that clean sheet or whatnot. But I think for me, Digne out of the two, I don't know what you think, El, but yeah, I think Digne out of the two. We know he's going to play. He's effectively playing left mid or left wing for Everton at the minute. He's not even playing that kind of left back role that we tend to see him play bombing forward. He's literally playing at left mid. So Digne's the one for me. Gundogan versus Burke, captain. Oh, Sam, that's a tough one, fella. That's a tough one. Burke, obviously, last week scoring against United on incredible form, whereas Gundogan, he's been a bit of a stinker lately, has he? But yeah, I'm just kidding. Obviously Gundogan, fella, but obviously Sam Smith always coming in with the absolutely incredible comments. Let me have a look at it. So, El, talk us through the transfers you've made this week and what you've been thinking, because up on screen there we've got your team. -4, I believe. So
yeah, so I did Martial out first for DCL because I'm not sure if Martial will start against Arsenal, to be honest. And then I had Lookman in my midfield against West Brom. So I did want to start and play because he's been playing as a forward for Fulham, or sort of an attacking wing at the moment. But I just thought the Leicester fixture against Leeds and the way Barnes can just sort of get into the huge areas of space that Leeds leave open.
yeah.
I had to get him in, and they play Fulham next week as well, so he's not just a one game week player.
Oh
either,
yeah,
so.
I think apparently Leicester's double is meant to be quite good. So I see a lot of people kind of bringing him in, looking to the future. I don't know if Owen's about. I don't know if he's still asleep, but he was thinking of doing the same thing as you. And if he's asleep and it gets to the deadline, I think him sort of when he sees your Harvey Barnes, he'll be like, oh, maybe I should have. But yeah, I think Harvey Barnes is a solid move. But the -4, who is it for?
It was Lookman and Martial out.
Lookman and Martial out. Oh, I personally, not gonna lie, I would have held Lookman. But obviously, if you think Barnes is going to smash it, then absolutely fair play.
Yeah, I would have liked to have held him because Fulham have some double game weeks coming up, but there aren't 6 midfield options. Like it would have to been Barnes.
Yeah. As in, so you kind of set your mind on the fact that you wanted Barnes for this week.
Yeah. And
so that was it was just happening sort of thing. Yeah, that's completely fair enough. Got coming in. Start Sufal, Dallas or Mitchell. Now, correct me if I'm wrong here, and this is my bias coming through, Al, but for me, it's Mitchell. I don't know about you. at home to Wolves out of those kind of three players. When Soufal plays Everton, no, sorry, Soufal plays Liverpool. Dallas plays Leicester, and Mitchell plays Wolves. So for me, I think personally,
is it Wolves at home? Yeah, Wolves at home.
It's Wolves at home. I go Mitchell. Dallas would be down the bottom of the pecking order just because Leicester can score goals, even though they are without Jamie Vardy. Leads the league goals. Soufal, there's potential. They've been really solid defensively of late, so you really never know in that game. But personally, I think if I bring my team up, I actually had a very similar kind of lineup previously. I got rid of Dallas this week, so that's my thoughts on him. But yeah, I've got Soufal as well, and I'm starting Mitchell personally. That's just how I feel about it. A little bit of Palace bias coming through, but yeah, this guy comes in with a captain.
I think out of those two,
go on.
I was going to say probably the same thing out of those three. Soufal, I don't know how much use he'll be against Liverpool. It'll be Cresswell out of those two that are on the set pieces and getting the assists this week.
Probably be more inclined to play just because of his attacking potential.
Yeah. Dallas, I think Leeds are going to get steamrolled.
Get a rump in.
Mitchell at home, stick him on. Wolves haven't got Jimenez, obviously, still. So
yeah, Wolves haven't been looked too great going forward of late, although they are going to try and come out and win this game, as are Palace. Hopefully we can see a bit of Jean-Philippe Matete, because he will be coming straight into my team if he starts today. That would be absolutely wonderful. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this game week. Hopefully it could be a bit of a turn of fortune than the last few game weeks. This guy says he's going to captain Areola. I mean, honestly, this is the week, if any, to go for like a punty captain, because there's no set in stone captain this week. There's so many different players that could do well, could not do well. Loads of people going for the Man City boys. I'm obviously in the boat of hoping that they don't, it's only a 1-0 Sheffield United Bernardo Silva. That's kind of my opinion there. Maybe assisted by Cancelo, I can allow that. Maddison and Digne or Rashford on Justin. That's tough. That's real tough.
Maddison and Digne or Rashford and Justin.
Because I really, really like Maddison for this coming game week, but I also really like Rashford, so it's shown great form. Justin, obviously, for Leicester, gets so far forward, could easily score in any game, and they play against Leeds. Good fixtures coming up. But then Everton, Digne looks really good. Honestly, that's a very, very tough kind of to and fro. Just because of the fixtures, I'd probably lean towards Maddison and Dean for like the short term, but there's the very high potential that Rashford and Justin could outscore them. Why don't you sell Bamford? I don't want to take on -4 to get rid of a player this week. Yeah, I just don't want to take the -4 for him, to be honest. I don't think it's worth it. His price has dropped, but this week I've finally kind of stopped chasing prices. So I'm not even looking at the price prediction sites anymore, because it was making me make transfers that were kind of potentially going a little bit away from what I was actually thinking. I'd be chasing price a little bit too much, doing early transfers, so I just like, nah, we'll stop that. Just a quick notice, if you're new around here, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if you do enjoy this. We are close to 10 likes, so if you don't mind popping that like button. So we've got coming here. Would you go for Barnes, Maddison, or Maddison in for Souček? What's Maddison, Barnes, L? Give us the lowdown, because you've obviously helped pick Barnes. So what was your thinking there of potentially not going for Maddison?
So I could afford both, and it was hard. It was quite a hard decision to choose between them. It was more just the fact that Leicester were playing Leeds, and it would be Barnes on the wing.
Yeah.
If it was Leicester against, say, West Brom or Leicester against Sheffield, I probably would have gone Maddison.
Yeah.
So it was more, I guess the fixture influenced my choice a bit. But either are a good choice, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, with Fulham next week. Well,
it's a little bit of a 50-50 with those two, really. You know, if you pick the wrong one, you're going to be disappointed. Kind of either way. because one of them probably will get points and one of them may get fewer points. They could rotate the points in a few weeks, but yeah, it's a 50-50 Madison or Barnes. Do the old coin flip if you really can't decide. Start Neto or Bamford. We're getting to the 10-minute panic period now. It's absolute bedlam in the chat below. Neto or Bamford. I lean towards Neto there. What do you think, Al?
What, Neto against Palace?
Neto against Palace or Bamford against Leicester?
I think I'd choose Bamford, to be honest.
You go with Bamford?
I think so. Because Leeds are so attacking.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, to put their expected goals over the past 5 games have been 3 goals.
Yeah, I just think they're getting a bit tired, aren't they?
Yeah, knackered. Bamford's been sloppy of late.
He was, but he was off on the 58th minute last game, wasn't it? So he's had a rest of sorts. It's a hard one, that one. I think I'd go Bamford.
You go Bamford, yeah. I mean,
But
Neto, that one I'd lean
Palace,
towards. Palace have been pretty stinky defensively, I can't lie. Tompkins is out for another week, so I'm not holding out massively for a clean sheet with Mitchell. I'm kind of hoping, but yeah, Neto could be a good one. Or Bamford, yeah. I think they both look like good options. Guys coming in, I mean, this next comment. Who to captain? DCL, Gundogan, Grealish, Salah, or Son? Mike, you've literally just listed every possible captain that you could go with this week. As I said previously, go with your gut, go with the player who you think is going to do well. Then you'll be, if I tell you to captain Grealish, right? And, you were thinking, I should go with Salah. But, I'll go with this guy, Grealish, and then Grealish blanks, Salah scores. You're going to be more annoyed than if you just, gone with yourself, gone with Salah. So, honestly, go with your gut on that one, because it's just, it's a tough decision, and one that I think we all have been debating this week. So just go with what your gut says, and hopefully it works out for you. Hopefully, DCL. I'm going to miss out Gundogan. So DCL, Grealish, Salah and Son all get a good 10 to 15 points, and it doesn't matter. And then Gundogan goes and gets a stinker 1 point. That'll be lovely. Subbed off in the 50th minute after a yellow card. Play Shaw or Bamford. I don't know about you, Al, but I'm an attacking kind of guy myself. Play the attacker. Although I say that very kind of, I'm playing Mitchell over Bamford. So I guess... But that's I will say that is solely my Palace bias coming through. If Mitchell wasn't a Palace player, I would most likely be playing Bamford, and honestly, and yeah, I'd advise people to generally go for the attacker, because I think more often than not it works out better. Obviously that depends on which defender. If it was Cancelo, then that's pretty obvious. But yeah, I'd generally go for the attacker. What do you think about Shaw or Bamford?
I really like Shaw. The way he's playing at the moment is really, really good.
He gets he's getting far forward.
I just don't see United. I just don't see United keeping a clean sheet.
Did they play Telles and Shaw in the last game?
We started Telles, then took him off for Shaw.
Yeah, so there's also the potential that Shaw may not start and only get a 1-pointer. That's another thing.
No, he'll start against Arsenal.
You reckon he'll start?
Yeah, definitely.
Guys saying he's captained Grealish. Fair play, man. If you think, Grealish is a baller.
No.
Grealish is a baller. We both.
Carl Walker Pieces is still out for Saints as well. So
right, let me.
It'll be Grealish against their reserve, whoever he is.
Right, let me roll through these comments quickly, because it's 5 minutes, so I'm sure everyone is panicking right now. Martinez on Johnston. Martinez against Southampton. Johnston against Fulham. West Brom have been shipping guys, but Fulham haven't been going too great going forward recently, so I'd probably lean towards Johnston. What do you think, Al? Johnston or Martinez? What do you think?
I'd probably stick with Martinez, to be honest.
Yeah, do you think we should start investing on Crystal Palace assets because the fixtures look tasty? Yeah, I think maybe hold off for this particular game. Palace don't have a particularly great record against Wolves, but after that, I think like Zaha, potentially Mateta, if he starts today, could be an option going forward. Definitely a player I'm looking at. But yeah, Zaha's probably the main one you want to look at, and Mitchell in defence. As a kind of filler player. Who the bench? Wilson, Bamford, Antonio. Out of all my word. Who do Newcastle play? They play Everton. Oh, that's stinky. And they've been really poor going forward. Probably Wilson for me. Yeah. But I do really rate Wilson. If I was going to rate those attackers, I'd go kind of Wilson, Antonio, and then Bamford. That's a tough one. It really is a tough one. I'm leaning towards Bamford for a bench there. Because Antonio looks really, really good. I think Wilson, with same maximum back, could grab something. But yeah, it's a toss-up between those three. All good options. Dallas out for Justin from -4. Justin gets the offensive return. As I said previously, I don't really like defensive transfers like that. The kind of 1-for-1 for -4s, because Dallas could easily go and do something, but Justin, if he gets the attack and return, if you really feel that Justin's going to get the attack and turn, then fair play, go for it. But generally with defenders, we're looking at just a clean sheet. So if Justin does keep a clean sheet, gets a 6-pointer, you've only broken even in that situation, and Dallas could has the potential of doing something else. But yeah, if you really think he's going to get the attack and return, go for it. Maddison or Calvert-Lewin captain, bloody hell, I lean towards Calvert-Lewin there, but obviously, as I say, go with your gut fella. If you think Maddison's going to back bish bash bosh, then put it on Maddison. Or if you think Calvert-Lewin's going to smash it, go with Calvert-Lewin. Should have meant Creswell or Souček. What do you think? I'm leaning towards Souček, really? Surely if Creswell's going to get an attack and return though, it's going to be to Souček. So you play Souček.
Yeah, so play Souček.
Oh yeah, play Souček. Oh yeah, lean towards the attacker, play Souček. Yeah, fair enough. Martinez and McCarthy in net. Tough. Depending if you've got, I think. Yeah, if you've got Villa attackers, then definitely go Martinez. If you don't, a little bit more of a 50-50. But I'm leaning towards Martinez because he's been so good. But Southampton have been very good defensively as well. Yeah, I like Martinez. Get your last minute comments down below.
1 minute to go.
1 minute to go. Just check your teams, everyone. Check you got your vice captains, your captain. Captain Kene Tete, that's what I say, Al. Go for it. Captain Salah, all good to go to that. Oh, you can't even see my screen. What? There we go. Oh my god, that's... the pitch, the FPL pitch green screens on my phone. That's actually quite cool. So you can only see the players. Salah locked in for the captaincy. Let me know the last minute captaincies down in the comments down below. Let's see if we've got any last minute
10 seconds.
Comments. 10 seconds. Get them in. Get them in. DCL, Salah or Cancelo. Bamford, get him in. Captain him. Who are you going with? 10 seconds.
Oh, Jabber, I've just changed to Cancelo.
You've captained Cancelo? No, L. No. I'm very glad you've not captained DCL. I'd rather you captain Cancelo than DCL. Not capping there. Cancelo's getting a 6-pointer. Standard procedure. I ended up bringing Firmino in for a -4. My God, that's... Oh, I don't know. That's a potential panic transfer if I've ever seen one. But fair enough, if Firmino bangs, then he's got a good record against West Ham as well, away from home. So it'll be a fun game to watch. That's all I say. But yeah, good luck everyone. Subscribe if you're new around here, obviously. Hit that like button on the stream. Unfortunately, we didn't get around to the Bambling Buffoon section today, Al. Well, I know, gutted about that, but there were too many kind of last minute decisions that we had to get through. Guy coming in with, I changed my captain to Gundogan last minute this week is such a mess. Yeah, man. Hopefully that works out for you. Personally, I mean, you've obviously just last minute changed your captain, haven't you, El? Personally, I'm kind of like never change anything in the last hour. Just because at that point, I think it's panic stations. I think Okay. I'm gonna be.
The only thing for me was that DCL's the early fixture.
This guy says, "Fuck you, you son of a bitch." I mean, I don't know what's that referring to. I mean, that's just. Don't really know how to respond to that, to be honest. But we are about to. I'll put the geezer on a timeout. We're about to end the stream anyway, so doesn't particularly matter. What were you gonna say, Al?
I was going to say part of my reason for changing was DCL's got the early fixture, and I don't like the early fixtures.
Yeah.
The sort of 12:30 kickoffs. I don't think they ever perform as well.
Yeah.
But who knows? I don't know. I've had my eye on Cancelo all week, to be fair.
You've had your eye on Cancelo all week. I was definitely thinking about Cancelo. That's fun. I know there's that people have dropped out the stream. I think we've still got 10 people in here. So guys, we're gonna go. We are gonna roll the Bambling Buffoon section this week. Where basically we just discuss the fixtures. You tell us whether you think we're Bambling Buffoons or we actually know what we're on about. So let us know down in the comments your kind of the score predictions. I have got the wrong fixtures up on the screen. Silly me, I did this last week as well. Let's get the correct. It might be good if we selected the correct fixtures for this week because we already do know the score, so it'd be a little bit unfair. You ignore my question. Now I'm locked in with a Wan-Bissaka captain. For one, I answered who to bench Wilson, Bamford or Antonio. I answered that question, and your captaincy is your own decision, fella. So
Wan-Bissaka captain.
Wan-Bissaka captain's very
That's so rogue.
Very rogue. I can't lie, that is. That is out of differential captaincies this week. I think you've potentially hit a new high there. I hope that's a joke for your sake, but yeah. Who did you say?
That's funny. What was the Wan-Bissaka question again?
Well, there wasn't. I've not seen one of. All I can see from you, mate, is who to bench: Wilson, Bamford, or Antonio. There's no captaincy question on there, so maybe it didn't load. But I mean, yeah, Wan-Bissaka's your own choice there, fam. Hopefully it goes well for you, but yeah. Let's bring up these fixtures. All right, guys, let us know in the comments down below. The score predictions: Everton, Newcastle. Let's go with a 2-0 Everton. DCL goal. That'll do.
That'll do.
That'll do. Tidy. Are we in agreement there? I think we're in agreement there.
I think so.
Crystal Palace Wolves, take us away.
That's a hard one.
It's an easy one.
I would have to say. I think Wolves might win. I don't know. What do you think, Jabs?
Well,
you're going to go for the winner. I guess.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, potentially 10 to Palace. Now that Mateta's in, I reckon a good 4 or 5 to Palace.
Is he starting?
Potentially. I don't know. I hope he does because I really want to bring him in my FPL team. My transfers are basically planned around the fact that Mateta's coming in. So if he doesn't, if he doesn't start, then that's going to be a bit of a ball ache. But yeah, I mean, Digne assist, like you're saying, 2-0 Palace. Big up, my man. Big up. I've seen a lot of people actually backing Palace for this week, surprisingly so, after how stinky we've been. I've seen a lot of 0-0s, 1-1s, 1-0, 2-0 Palace. Not many people going for the Wolves dub this week, from what I've seen.
0-0 was I'd back a 0-0 to be honest in that game. Yeah, City Sheffield 3-0.
City Sheffield 3-0, 1-0 personally. Owen would call me a smart ass, but that's my opinion. 1-0 to Sheffield. No worries, Ryan. Just keep it cool in. Try and keep it cool in the chat. Obviously, FPL can be very stressful and anxious at times. And you know, we're all just trying to have a bit of fun. Whoever you end up captaining or end up picking, just try and remember the game's a bit of fun. I fall down the rabbit hole a lot of the time, like getting way too caught up in my decisions. Yeah. Oh, is this our resident? It's not RWC, but he could have changed name because it seems like we have some song. The lyrical song genius is back, and I see. Yeah,
the Almighty, I like it.
The Almighty. Oh dear. But yeah, so we were on Man City Sheffield. I went 1-0, you went 3-0. So we're going with the Man City win. West Brom Fulham.
Maybe like a 1-0 Fulham, maybe 2-1 Fulham.
Mm-hmm.
Fulham win, I think. I think the way Fulham are set up at the moment.
Yeah, West Brom have conceded like
well.
18 in the last 5 as well. They're conceding a lot of a lot of goals, basically. A lot of goals. So I'm gonna go with a 1-0, 2-0 Fulham, to be honest. Let's get Tet on the score sheet. That'll be nice. My man Kenny Tete. I've seen people actually predicting he's going to get benched. Don't particularly know why, to be honest, because he is their only right-sided fullback and a wing back in the formation they play. So I don't know why. Robinson is back, but he plays on the left side. So yeah, I don't know what people are saying. We can try a bit of fun. Some guy from he looks like he's. No, that's perfect, man. That is perfect. That is perfect. He looks like he needs to run down as such. Oh, that's funny. Matthew coming in with a 3-2 to West Brom. Interesting. Plenty of goals being predicted in this game. I hope not, because I've got Tete at the back. But yeah, West Brom have been scoring goals, but not conceding them as well. So yeah, it could be a very open game. But I do think Fulham will potentially set up shop in there. And both teams, it's a bit of a must-win. Arsenal Man United, take us away, Al. Take us. This is the perfect interlude into a quick 30-second, 1-minute rant about Manchester United from our resident Red Devil supporter, Elliot Taylor. Take us away.
I don't know if people saw the game. Did you watch the United game?
I saw bits of it. I was kind of at a non-football watching stage with how badly my FPL team was going. So I was just like,
I thought Man United were absolutely woeful against Sheffield.
Absolutely woeful. Breaking news.
I don't think.
Ole out. Sorry.
No, you can't say that.
No.
I just thought Martial's been at United for 5 years now. I think that was his worst ever performance in a Man United shirt.
Wow.
It wasn't just the fact he was playing bad football. It was the way that he just seemed to.
Is that Fernandes?
I don't know whether it was through tiredness or. But when he lost that ball that gave Sheffield the second goal.
Was that Bruno? Did you say?
He just stood there. Pardon?
Was that Bruno? Did you say?
No, Martial lost it.
Martial.
And then Sheffield went on to score.
I was about to come with the Bruno's washed up, but obviously.
It's just the way he just sort of stood there and watched the Sheffield attackers just run on. Whereas Bruno didn't have a good game, but you can never question Bruno's work rate. He ran after the ball, and at least made some attempt to try and sort of remedy the situation, I guess.
Yeah. Bruno's a class act.
Because if you try and choose a sort of best player for United that game, it's very hard to choose anyone. You'd probably have to say maybe Wan-Bissaka.
Sure,
when he came on.
Well, Ryan's got a captain, so surely it's a good omen.
That's very true. But yeah, I think that the team that I've got no sort of criticisms of Ollie in particular. I thought the team he put out was the team that was good enough to beat them. There just seemed to be no desire, and they just seemed that they was almost expected to beat Sheffield.
Yeah, 100%.
And it goes to show that we're all getting quite excited and a bit carried away about being in a title race.
To be fair, you're very much in a title race, and the Sheffield United result was a bit of a shock result. Let's be real; they're the bottom of the league, and you were basically the top of the league, so you should have been beating them.
Exactly. I think that's the thing that's what this week has shown, that
Yeah.
United aren't yet a title-winning team. The fact we can beat Liverpool
I
shows
don't know though,
we can beat anyone.
because this season, I
But
mean,
the
to
fact
be
that we
fair, this season Man City do look like they are going to roll. The difference is this season that people have been saying is that, you know, teams are going to get these results against smaller teams. So like Liverpool have been drawing to Fulham, drawing to West Brom. They lost to Southampton. Southampton been good, so it's a little bit different. But they're losing to kind of quote unquote smaller sides, and that Sheffield United's loss that very much shows that for Man United. But you do get the vibe with this Man City team now that they will just win. That they'll beat all the smaller teams with relative ease, and you know, more likely than not beat the bigger teams. That's where you know I'm gonna pull out my inner Michael Owen, but the title will be won in the games where the big teams play each other, and obviously, you know, if City and United and Liverpool continue to drop points against the smaller sides, then City will just create the gap. 10-0 to United. Matthew comes in. I'm guessing you're a United supporter. If Rashford gets 9 of those, I think I'll be okay with that. 10 would be obviously what I'd be expecting and hoping, but 9 will just about do.
I think Rashford will have a good game, to be honest. I think Martial will be dropped. So it'll be McTominay and Fred, midfield, Bruno, Pogba, Cavani and Rashford. That's what I would go with, I think. I think Martial needs dropping for a bit.
Martial's going to be dropped. You heard it here first. Exclusive from the Manchester United stand.
I really like Martial. He's one of my favourite players. You know, he won Player of the Season last year. And when he's good, he's very good. But I don't know what's going on with him at the moment.
Yeah.
Hopefully he gets back on track, because I do really like him.
Yeah, I'm looking for that Arsenal Man United game might be one that I watch. We'll see. Basically, we'll see. We have a lineups coming out in 15 minutes, so we may actually, because it's only 15 minutes, we may as well like finish these fixtures off, see where we are, and just check the lineups and then end it there. How does that sound?
Yeah. Sounds good.
Then we'd probably be live for about an hour, so I think that sounds good. The Almighty coming in with thank you for the FPL advice. Obviously, it's my pleasure as always. I, the Almighty, the omnipresent and omniscient, advise you to eat some apples or maybe even a tangerine. Oh, very tidy. What do you think about some apples and tangerines, El?
Oh, I've got some tangerines, actually. I might have one.
Ooh, well, there you have it. An exclusive first. Elliot is going to eat a tangerine live, only here on the JABT YouTube channel.
Titles will be one in the games where the big teams play each other. Jab T with the voice of Simon from the UK.
Well, what can I say? I'm whipping out all the I'm whipping out my inner Michael Owen, the inspirational comments today. You know, you gotta love it. Green Arrow every week, alluding us nicely into the next fixture, saying 2-0 to Aston Villa. I personally would get very much behind that. I think you would as well, El. Obviously, if Grealish is a part of it, what do you think about this game?
I think Saints will score, to be honest. But I do think that Villa will win, especially with Grealish, like I was saying before, against their backup wing back. Villa looked really good again last game. So yeah, I'd probably say 2-1 Villa. I don't think it'll be a clean sheet, but it'd be nice to do.
Yeah, the Villa dub I see, because I was surprised when they lost to Burnley. The amount, did you see any of the? I only saw the highlights. Didn't actually watch a full game. So I was doing the match of the day challenge, which I told you went kind of up and down. With my dad walking into the room 5 minutes before I'm about to watch match of the day, hoping that Marcus Rashford has done something. He just walks into the room. Oh, have you seen? Sheffield have beaten United. I'm like, Dad, I told you. Oh, yeah, it was good fun to watch anyway. And when I saw that Fulham Brighton was last on the match of the day, I was like, yep, thank you, clean sheets, locked and loaded.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going Aston Villa dub. I'm leaning towards 2-0. You're nicking a Southampton goal, but the consensus there is an Aston Villa win. Chelsea versus Burnley.
It's another hard one, really.
Yeah, you don't know what Tuchel's going to do. You really don't.
No, you really don't.
And it's not an easy game for him to like. Sean Dyche's Burnley are never kind of an easy team to go and play against, especially for a new manager. They make it tough. City have really been the only side who can actually find a way of like really kind of just tearing apart Burnley. But other than that, yeah, Burnley are a solid side. 0-0 once again. I'm gonna go with.
If Chelsea win, it might be like a 1-0.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be 0-0 and then 1-0 either way.
Mm.
Then we read this
Yeah,
guy's.
Good, never know.
Read this guy's team out. He says, my team for game week 21 is McCarthy, Diaz, Cancelo, Justin. I like the back three there. Very, very solid. Diaz and Cancelo, definitely. I'm glad I've been able to get Cancelo in because in my other league, I think only everyone's gone for like Diaz and Stones, pretty much. And I think like and most of them have kind of one midfielder. So that's cracked me up. let me read through this comment and then I'll get on to what's going on with Salah, Gundogan vice captain, Son on the captaincy, big voice of Simon. No. Fernandez, Bamford, DCL, Antonio. I like it, mate. I really like it. That could be big points for you this week. Bamford, DCL, Antonio is a strong front three. Potentially move out Bamford soon, but obviously don't rush to make that transfer because obviously Leeds, Bamford have been, they've been good going forward. They have been good. They've just on a little bit of a slow down at the minute. But overall, I really like that team, mate. You've got the triple up on Man City, which I'm jealous of. I'd like that myself. Finally got Cancelo in, and I think I almost like just having Cancelo than having kind of like a Diaz and Stones double up. What do you think about that, El? Just because of like the attacking returns that Cancelo could potentially provide. Obviously the double up's nice, but
I think especially with KDB out, Cancelo's got a bit more of a license to sort of roam forward.
And you also know that he's going to be playing. They've got tougher fixtures coming up, but in terms of bringing Cancelo in, that almost makes me feel better about bringing him in because in all the big games, he's playing Cancelo. So you know that he's not going to kind of get benched during that period. Could we see a bench this week? Maybe. He's had a rest recently, so especially after his performance against West Brom, goal and assist, you don't really see him getting benched. The title of the guy he's eating a fucking tangerine. Oh, that's news. Have you seen what's just happened in the chat as well?
Yeah.
IWC coming at the almighty. What the fuck, bro? You're stealing my lines. I'm a poet in this chat. Oh, we've got some beef between the almighty and IWC. Cut. Mate, what inspiration is you? Childish name, by the way. Yeah. I mean, we've got two lyrical, inspirational poets in the chat. It's a battle of the poets. De Bruyne for Mane and Adams to Antonio -4. Was it worth it? De Bruyne's not going to play, so the Mane transfer I like. Adams to Antonio, for me, that's potentially a week too early. I think Southampton and Villa, so I think I personally would have kind of held out on that transfer. But I do really like the Mane move, so it could still go and pay you off very nicely. So the next fixture, talking of, we're coming on to is Leicester v Leeds. So what are we saying? It's the same person, yeah. Yeah. That's the point. Leicester v Leeds. What do we think? I'm going to the
3-1.
Leicester 3-1. Will Harvey Barnes, Will Madison, Will Perez get on the score sheet? Will we see Iheanacho? Will we see Justin? No, thank you. Leeds, will we see potentially Bamford clicking up front with Click, if you pardon the pun? Yeah, I think with the general consensus there, Leicester dub against Leeds. West Ham, Liverpool. My captain for the week, the King, Mohamed Salah, is gonna score a hat trick. I mean, it's gonna happen. I'm sorry to everyone who hasn't captained Salah. I'm really sorry, because he's gonna score a hat trick. Basically, what I've got to say there. What do you think, Al?
I don't think either will keep a clean sheet. Especially now Matip's out for Liverpool. Nat Phillips is coming back in.
Yeah. True.
Liverpool look strong on the attack as well, so I don't think West Ham will. I don't know. It could be a 2-2 this, or Liverpool 3-2 maybe.
Yeah, let's go with 3-1 to Liverpool. That'll be tidy. No, Salah, he loves a penalty against West Ham. That's what I found from the historical notes of this game. He does love a penalty. So, Salah to bag a penalty. Gets the assist for diving himself. Lovely. The Almighty coming in. Do I not destroy my enemies when I make them my friends? The Almighty, the man of knowledge, must be able to not only love his enemies, but also to hate his friends. Interesting. Inspirational. As per always, the inspirational poet in the chat, IWC, the Almighty, coming in with a lyrical genius. Brighton Spurs. A lot of people going Sonny Boy captain. What do you think, Al?
Yeah, I don't think Son's a bad choice.
I don't think Son's a bad choice.
The only thing with me was Brighton looked pretty solid.
Yeah.
Every time they play. I haven't looked at their sort of latest fixtures for a while. Actually.
Brighton's kind of expected
clean sheet
goals
against Fulham.
Yeah.
They kept a clean sheet against Leeds.
Who's this, Brighton?
City only scored one past them. Yeah.
Yeah, Brighton are looking very good defensively.
All right.
Very good defensively.
And the way Mourinho's playing, sort of setting Spurs up now, is sort of, I think it's a lot different to how he was playing at the start of the season. You can see that sort of Mourinho defensive part of the bus.
Green hour every week.
Sort of strategy coming in more and more.
Apparently 16-0 to Spurs for Green Arrow every week. So there's there's the prediction there. I see Spurs nicking it, but I think it's going to be a tight game, as we say, 1 or 2-0. 1 or 2-0 Spurs, I think, is a fair way. We've still got 10 of you sticking around. We've got 5 minutes to go until the lineups come out, so do keep your comments coming in. Honestly, the Almighty coming in once again with, sometimes I have an apple, but other times I fancy a tangerine. That is a quote unquote from Prince William, apparently. So according to Prince William, well, I might go and have myself an apple or a tangerine then. You never know. But yeah, 16-0 Spurs. Maybe. I mean, could we see another Southampton? I mean, I doubt it with Kate now. But you never know. You never know. We could see Spurs going back this weekend. I'm looking forward to this week. A bit of rejuvenation. It's been nice having the kind of quick turnaround, just because my weeks have been stinky. So just like being able to just quickly turn around onto the next fixture will be nice. I'm actually going to be doing my team selection for next week tonight. Basically, I'm going to wait until as many of the games have finished today and get the team selection out, because we only have Sunday, Monday, and then the deadline on Tuesday. So it's a really, really quick turnaround this week to the deadline on Tuesday. But yeah, I think this week I'm looking for, and it's going to be nice having, I don't know what you think about this, Al, but having some fixtures all playing at the same time today. We've got 3 o'clock fixtures, and I do quite miss the days when, I'd be sitting in the Palace, like at Selhurst Park, or just watching, either have all the games up on 4 games running at one time, or just watching a game and just hitting the refresh button at half time and everything just kind of coming through at once. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it's nice that we're getting through the game so quickly.
Yeah.
Got the international break coming up in March, so
it's still a while off.
Still a while off, yeah.
Yeah.
But no, it's nice. Glad the football's been able to keep going.
It's going to be nice for me that the Palace game is on while the City game is on, because like I'll be a lot more focused on the Palace game, so I won't have to watch. I wouldn't watch the City game anyway. If
Yeah.
Cancelo does anything, I'll be pretty chuffed. Obviously though, I'd rather Gundogan did nothing. I think you're in the same boat there. Of wanting Gundogan.
Yeah,
What
I
do you
don't
think
know
about
if
Gundogan?
Jesus plays.
Do you think Jesus
I
is going
was
to play?
considering bringing him in instead of Barnes.
Yeah.
I don't know. He just felt like a bit of a trap this week. I think if Jesus plays, Gundogan will drop deep again.
Yeah, you reckon? I mean, even from that deep position, he has been getting goals. To be fair.
He's been good.
To
It's
be
hard.
fair.
It just seemed like one of those transfers where as soon as you bring them in, he'll blank. So I just
Yeah, for me, it's a case of I reckon I'd bring him in a blank this week, maybe get some kind of return next week. They play Liverpool, so probably a blank. Then they've got a double, but I reckon in the double, De Bruyne will be back by them, so he plays deeper. And then in the GAMEWEEK 26 double, I reckon because he'll be playing so much football, I reckon he'll get like a rest then, and all of a sudden you've bought a -4 in a player, and it's just been a stinker. But that's obviously me being a little bit hopeful because I have now kind of decided I'm not going to bring him in, and I think I'm very much with the plans I'm making not going to be bringing him in at all, because I still think Kane's going to be a very good option for GameWeek 26. Have you got a plan to kind of bring Kane in?
yeah, I can get him in.
The Almighty coming in said, okay, I'm out. Like the vid. Love you all. Thank you, Easter Island man. And the anonymous caller. I hope IWC doesn't ever return because I'll give him a lyrical blow to the jaw. See ya, the Almighty. Catch you in the next one. Most likely for the lyrical genius. IWC and the Almighty out. Love it. We're 2 minutes now until the line. Actually, let me do a little bit of tinkering. See if I can get Twitter up on a separate screen so that I can kind of do a little scroll. Act like I'm a proper streamer, being able to get up all the information properly on the stream.
I'll see if there's any leaks as well.
Yeah, I mean, we're very much both just expecting DCL is pretty much. I'm intrigued though. I'm really intrigued to see the Newcastle lineup because I think if Maximin starts, Alain Saint-Maximin, I think if he starts, then we very well could see a tougher game for Everton. But yeah, I think that Everton should be it should be on the clot atmosphere. This one, Everton. Let's try and type this in. My computer when I'm streaming is so slow. I need to purchase a new thing. Everton versus Newcastle.
Iwobi's supposed to be starting.
Oh, if he starts on that wing, that's even more supply to DCL. Even more supply. Everton versus Newcastle.
So we've got here Godfrey, Mina, Keane, Digne. I don't know how accurate this is. It's a leak.
It's a leak.
Corey Davies. Iwobi, James, Richarlison, and then DCL.
Iwobi, James, Richarlison, DCL. DCL. Have you actually? Can you check? Has Aaron put his team in the chat? I haven't actually looked at the chat. What's the chat saying now? How the team's looking this week?
I think so. Yeah.
He
didn't go. He kept Mitchell.
He kept Mitchell at the end. Fuck you.
We've got 3 Gundogan captainers.
3. I'm guessing that's Ish, Az, Sal.
Yeah. Owen's gone Son.
Yeah, I knew that. You went with Cancelo.
I did.
How are you feeling about that?
I don't know, Jabba. I could have switched it to Grealish and not felt any better.
I'm going to remove the chat for this kind of
It's
screen.
There's the potential for so many people to do well this week. It's just so hard.
Yeah.
I don't think any of the Gundogan, Cancelo, Grealish, Salah, DCL picks, any of them are bad picks.
No, that's the thing. This week is very much kind of it's very tough to choose between the captaincy, and that's why I was just trying to tell everyone go with your gut. And Salah very much was.
Newcastle team's out.
Salah very much was my personal gut. So
normal Newcastle team.
Yeah, so.
And then Everton, DCL.
Let me transition this over here.
Sigurdsson playing. He's playing.
Yeah, I'll rate Sigurdsson.
So the league team is wrong then. So it's Pickford in goal, then Coleman, Keane, Digne, Mina.
So you've got the
and
Newcastle team here.
Decore,
Let me give this a
Sigurdsson, Iwobi, Richarlison, Calvert-Lewin, and Hammers.
So St. Maximin's on the bench, so that is good news for Everton. Especially for Everton, kind of Digne and just the kind of defensive assets. St. Maximin being on the bench means they're a lot less likely to score.
Hayden's playing centre-back again.
Let me try and bring up this Everton team. Green every week, a Captain Gundo. Nice one, man. Nice one. Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously chatting bad about him, but mainly because I don't have him, so I don't want him to do well. This is kind of me convincing myself that I made a decent move by not bringing him in. But against Sheffield, he easily could do something. Let's have a look. Darlan McQueen, Hayden, Charles Sells, Lewis, Shelby, Hendrick, Almiron, Fraser Wilson. It's a decent little lineup from Newcastle. I don't mind it, but I much prefer the Everton lineup if we can find it. Okay, we've got apparently the Middlesbrough have tweeted on the Newcastle versus Everton timeline. Great. Brilliant. Here we go. Pickford starts. Decore, Coleman, Sigurdsson and Iwobi all in, while Digne shifts to left back. So Digne will be a little bit further back by the sounds of it, but I still think he'll bomb forward and gets very far forward. Captain DCL rate it. Really rate the DCL pick this week. I'll be happy if whatever he does, to be honest. I'm gonna try not to regret not captaining him too much if he does score, because I get the points and there are plenty of people who won't. But yeah, I think we're gonna round it up there. Thank you very much for joining me, Al. It's been a bit of a longer one today.
No worries.
I hope everyone has enjoyed. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and well,